Google Pixel 10. We have some early leaks from OnLeaks and Android Headlines.
I don't care.
We've got the full 360s. You don't. So was that so?
I had to throw that in there.
What did he say?
I said I don't care.
Okay. He doesn't care about the Pixel. There is something that you might care about, right? Design-wise, it looks pretty much the same. Now, I'm not going to discredit Google for this because the Google Pixel 9 series did have a refreshed look with the visor. It's like they had an updated visor which kind of sticks out, unlike the Google Pixel 8 series, which we've had for a few years. So they did refresh the design, right, for the Pixel 9. So understandably, they're going to keep on this design for a little bit. We've got this pink-looking device that has been shared. And yeah, so from a design point of view, fine. Here's the thing that might be a little bit interesting for you, E. And I'm not sure if you've seen this. The latest news that we've got is that the Tensor G5 chip is now going to shake things up, because generally Tensor chips have been, they haven't really competed with the Snapdragon equivalents, right? And that's been one of the sort of downsides of getting a Pixel, that the performance is just not going to be there. But there's a new report from Android Authority which says that there's going to be a custom Tensor G5 chip, and it's going to be designed by Google and TSMC instead of Samsung, right? And this is reportedly going to be a 3nm chipset, and it's going to be using the ARM Cortex CPU cores. We'll be using ARM Cortex CPU cores. Now, the big difference here is that Google will be opting for Imagination Technology GPU, so IMGDXT, which replaces the ARM Mali G715MP7 from the Tensor G4, right? This is supposedly going to shake things up, and it's going to make the Tensor G5 much more competitive and a lot more sort of sought after compared to what we've had in the past. Does that change things for you?
No.
Why is that?
I can guarantee you that it will not match this year's Snapdragon 8 Elite or Dimensity 9400, simply because of the GPUs. I get it. The GPU, the Mali GPU that they use was pretty much older, and they moved to the Imagine, which from what I know still doesn't compare to the latest, ARM stated GPU or what Qualcomm offers, but it will be an improvement. Not saying that it won't be. The problem is both Snapdragon, the rumors for Snapdragon and Dimensity that are out is we're looking at a 24 to 30% for Snapdragon, and a huge boost was kind of what they mentioned for Dimensity as well. So those guys will be ahead, and I think they're moving to 2nm or a third generation or 3nm processing, while they're moving to the first generation 3nm here. So they're still behind, but I don't even think that's the issue with Pixel. I don't think that's the main issue, because already people just always think of Pixel as I'm focusing on the camera in photos, not even videos, but just photos, and that's pretty much it. So I think that it's going to be a good benefit to play games and also do better on-device processing for AI, because that's also one of the things that they need to do. But overall, we've seen what on-device AI processing can do with the Galaxy, which has been a big partner with Google. And that Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset does a fantastic job with it. So,
question for you. Are you going to be doing a performance comparison between the Google Pixel 10 with the Tensor G5 to something with the Snapdragon 8 Elite?
Oh, absolutely. Against all three.
Okay.
Definitely.
So let's find out. The only thing is, so here's the thing, right? So Google is now moving things forward, because even last year with the Pixel 9 series, they moved it forward. Usually used to get it in October. This time it kind of was announced in August and it was available in September. Rumors are that it's going to be moving even earlier, right? So we're looking at possibly June, July time, which is going to be crazy early, right? Now, the other thing is we're going to see the introduction of the Tensor G5. But guess what's also coming out in October? So just 2-3 months ahead. It's going to be the next Snapdragon chip, right?
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So I do see your point that, okay, hey, look, you've got these improvements, but then you already, just after releasing, 2 months later, you're already going to be a year behind what Qualcomm and MediaTek are offering, for instance.
Yeah.
So this is the thing.
And that's the thing. I look at it from the perspective of, there's a video series I've been wanting to do which I've dubbed it as the Pixel needs to die. And there are many reasons I want to do that. But one of the things I think is, if I'm looking from a cost analysis, it's costing Google a lot of money to make this chip. And they don't sell as many units as a Samsung, or Qualcomm sells a lot for Samsung and other partners, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with MediaTek. MediaTek sells a lot for a lot of partners. This chipset also doesn't go into anything that requires that kind of power. Even Samsung making the Exynos chipsets, they're all in Samsung TVs. They're in the Samsung appliances. So Samsung has an avenue to offset that stuff. Same thing with Apple. Apple has that across the board. Everything is running, Apple silicon. So to me, that's one of the things where I'm like, Google, this is really biting into your bottom line. And also we see that there's a lot of options. Like, we know MediaTek makes some really good low-end chipsets for budget phones, So why spend the R&D and the money there when you can buy from partners? And with Google, you can actually implement better usage of Android, Google AI, all that stuff that all the other partners will go, yeah, we want this. Please, Google, go ahead. Like Samsung will be happy. All the Chinese manufacturers will be happy. So I personally don't see the logic there, but
So I get what you're saying, but Google doesn't seem to have backed down in terms of promoting things, because did you see when Liverpool won the Premier League?
Nah, as an Arsenal fan.
Okay, so Mo Salah took a selfie with the crowd
using the Pixel.
It was using the Google Pixel, right? Who is a sponsor of Liverpool?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that obviously, I'm just reading some stuff here. It's like inside the story of Mo Salah's £308 million selfie. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't look like Google is backing down.
Is that how much? Is that how much they paid to sponsor Liverpool?
I don't know. I've just kind of seen the headline. I actually learned about this through my. You might get a bit offended by this, but my other co-host from my other podcast.
Excuse me.
How dare you bring him up in here? So shout out to Omar Suleiman from the Wahid podcast, the Muslim Money Experts. He actually sent me that article about Mo Salah taking a selfie with the Google Pixel phone, because it is pretty genius marketing. You've got a perfect moment because it's the Premier League. I believe they won like 5-1, was it, or something?
That. It was a trashing.
It was trashing, but then like you've got all of that hype, you've got that excitement, and then there is Mo Salah, the star player, taking a selfie with a Google Pixel phone. Like, that is great marketing, because everybody's seeing that Pixel. It's there in front of you at this absolutely unique and amazing moment. So,
No,
maybe
I
it's
agree.
gonna work for them.
No, on the marketing side, that's perfect. And the marketing team is separate from the manufacturing team and separate from leadership. They have to do their job, and it's excellent. But does that translate to big sales? We don't know, right? And we haven't seen that yet.
Well, speaking of the marketing team, I still don't have a Pixel 9a. So all I'm saying is, I'm sorry, but I don't think they're doing the best job, because like I've got cases. Shout out to Speaking for sending me cases, but I'm like, I would have covered this device. I would probably put it up against the iPhone 16e. That would have been a perfect SuperSaf comparison that people would have liked to have seen. But guess what? I didn't get it. And yes, I know people in the comments can be like, you can just go ahead and buy one. Yes, I can just go ahead and buy one. But by the time I get it, it's just too late. There's already been thousands of other videos. It's just not worth my while to do it. So, so Google's marketing team, you're doing a great job on the Liverpool front. But, maybe just get the devices to reviewers who can cover it. Because there was that whole controversy last year, remember? With, that the Team Pixel program, should we say. But
which is now ended.
I don't know. Which is now ended. So they just kind of like, you know what? It is quite typical of Google, because even with YouTube, if something is problematic, instead of like finding a solution, they just kill it. We've seen that time and time again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, for example, YouTube Shorts, right? Links in the comments. So we're like, oh, we're getting too much spam. Kill it. And I was just like, hold on, like at least let me post links in, whatever in this. Like, what are you doing? Like, I can't post any links in the description not in the comments, in the description of my own videos now on Shorts, because supposedly other people are using for spam. It's like, no, find a solution for it. Don't just kill it off. But yeah, very typical of Google.
I mean, look, it almost, look, I know it's not the case, but it sounds like for each of these major projects, Google only has one engineer doing the work. And he's like, dudes, it's going to take me forever. So you might as well just take it off.
Just take it off, kill it. It'll just be easier this way. Otherwise, it's going to take me 3 to 4 years. That's literally what it seems like. It's just like Google. Anytime there's something that requires a solution, they just kill it. But anyway, yeah. If you're watching Google Pixel 9a, I mean, it might be a bit too late for it now, but make sure you get with the Pixel 10s in time. But we'll see. Anyway, the other thing, I mean, obviously, it's going to have a heavy emphasis on AI, which with Gemini. And have you heard of VO2? Google's video AI engine.
No. I saw a tweet today about somebody saying that it's been out and nobody's talking about it, like nobody knows.
Well, I did get some early access to it, and it did seem to do pretty well. So basically, it lets you generate 8-second clips. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share them yet. If they are, you'll see them on screen. If not, then. But basically, that's something that I think they'll probably incorporate into the Pixel 10s as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey, you can just have some text prompts and you can generate 8-second videos. The only thing with this is, what I find is, it's great, it's fun, but in terms of day-to-day usage, is it really something that you're going to be using a lot? Because like with the image generator, I don't really use it that much. Yes, if it's something where I can, we've seen the whole trend of the Ghibli style artwork or whatever it's called, and stuff like that. Yeah, but like in terms of, I want a dinosaur that's on top of the Eiffel Tower or something. I don't know, something crazy like that.
Yeah,
it's fun, but like how often are you going to use it? I don't know.
I think it's the first steps to something bigger. The reason I say that is I have to find the creator on TikTok that I follow. He makes AI videos. He has like a video series. Like there was one about different ancient civilizations going into space. So there's like the Mayan civilization, the Egyptians, and there's like this intergalactic war, right? Everything is AI generated. And of course, that's not done on device. That is done on the cloud. But it looks really good. And he also has an AI audio narrator that covers the story. But he's got tons of people watching this. It's like 1 to 2 minute videos. And he releases them like maybe on a weekly basis. So that is something that somebody does currently right now, cloud AI work, which I think you're leading up to it here. My biggest thing is, will Google and other manufacturers watermark it, letting people know that this is AI? Because they are, like that clip, you can tell because it's a fictional story, right? You know that this is not real. But eventually people will just start making videos. I saw one today on YouTube Shorts where whenever you see turtles that have like all these shells around them, barnacles, they're cleaning barnacles off an orchid. And I clicked on the video, I was like, this is fake, but it looked really real because they just looped it for like 8 seconds, right? And everyone was like, it's not cleaning anything. This is an AI video. But you're getting to the point where it becomes... and so are these guys going to actually let people know that, no, it has to be watermarked that is AI generated, because you can't self-police it? Because if somebody just want to make content and make money, he's not going to necessarily click that it's AI button on YouTube or TikTok or IG and stuff like that. So
there's a few things that you mentioned. Firstly, with those videos, there's one really good one about how the pyramids were made, and it's literally got giants putting the pyramids together. Have you seen that one?
It's probably the same
cool
guy.
yeah. So that's really cool because it's just like you're getting AI to kind of imagine how it would be made, and it's just like, hey, giants, right? So that's pretty cool. In terms of watermarks, people will just crop them out as always. But I think it's up to fighting AI with AI, right? So if you've got something that's been generated with AI, there are certain things that, software and AI programs can do to detect it. Like Honor's got some AI detection as well. So on their devices, if there is something, that's AI, it will kind of flag that up. And there is kind of a lot of work happening in that area as well, where sometimes if there is something that seems AI generated, maybe on Instagram and TikTok, if enough people flag it, then it will just come up as this content may be AI generated. I think that's pretty much the only solution that they're going to have.
I mean, there is one better one that I think Qualcomm was trying to push, but because, Qualcomm doesn't sell devices, and it was basically creating AI metadata, basically like photo metadata, which it's very hard to scrub that from photos and videos, right? And the way I saw that working is, if everybody was on board, especially the streaming platforms, once you upload that video, it should scan the whole video and go partial or full AI right there, because the metadata should tell you it's either fully or partial. And then you can just go, yeah. And then you can't unclick it. It's just there. It's like, it's locked in for the user. So at least it's an AI video off the bat.
They'll find ways to get around it, man. They always do, don't they?
I know.
I like your optimism, though, E.